Hey yo, chào các thằng Keeper. Hôm nọ thì tôi đã chạy được 6 act đầu của chapter cốt truyện mới nhất, về Khai Sam. Hôm nay thì tôi sẽ tiếp tục đi tiếp cốt truyện của chương 7. Tuyến truyện 6 act đầu được đặt tại 2 điểm nhìn. Điểm nhìn đầu tiên là của team Vertin, hiện đang trên đảo tri thức. Lúc này chỉ còn 24 tiếng nữa là cơn bão sẽ đổ xuống. Và sau sự kiện đánh nhau lanh tanh bành tại cuối chapter 5 thì hòn đảo đã không còn khả năng chống chịu lại sự đảo ngược của cơn bão nữa. Các triệu chứng của cơn bão đã xuất hiện trên hòn đảo. Cụ thể là mọi đồ vật có hiện tượng biến thành tranh sương dầu và chảy màu nước ra. Hiện tại thì 37 và Virgin sẽ đồng hành cùng nhau để vượt qua thử thách gì đó để tìm cách cứu lấy hòn đảo này. Góc nhìn còn lại thì được đặt bên trụ sở nghiên cứu Laplace do Madame Lucy quản lý. Marcus thì đã đọc được Cacania, trong khi Cacania đang thôi miên Isolde và tìm được nghi thức mà hội Manus với Dicte thực hiện để kháng lại cơn bão. Tuy nhiên về mặt thực nghiệm thì nghi thức này xác suất thành công khá là thấp, bằng xác suất mà một con khỉ đánh máy ra để chống lại cơn bão ấy. Và để thực hiện nghi thức này cần một Arcanist thuần chủng mạnh mẽ để thực hiện. Ý chính của cốt truyện là vậy. Giờ chúng ta bắt đầu đi tiếp tuyến truyện chính nhé. Dạo gần đây thì có cái mod game mới là A Series of Dust này, kể về tuyến truyện của Samwise với cả Lolorai là nhân vật mới 5 sao mới này, với cả một macaron bí ẩn thuộc hội, có vẻ thuộc hội phản diện Manus với Dicte. Chuyện này chơi cái mod này kiểu roguelike giống hồi phiên bản 1.6 ấy. Cũng kể về tuyến truyện của Samwise. Hiện tại tôi đã đến bàn 14 này, chơi cuốn phết. Đi tí mà đã xong hết, gần hết. Ok, anecdote thì đang về tuyến truyện của Samwise này. Tôi mới chơi chapter đầu mà spoil luôn là có cái đoạn sau cơn bão rồi. Sau cơn bão thì Samwise đang về Laplace để nghiên cứu các thứ. Bây giờ chúng ta vào tới chuyện chính thôi. Đây là Maze of Minotaur. Cái này có vẻ như là reference đến cái truyền thuyết về tìm bộ lông cừu vàng của Jason này. Mê cung của những con Ngưu Ma Vương. Nhân ngưu.
Any news from Zeno?
Lilia. Đây là quay trở lại tuyến truyện của hòn đảo này.
They are moving as planned.
Nhóm này đang
The deployment will be complete within 2 hours.
liên lạc với đất liền để quay trở lại
What about Arcana?
vùng chính, quay trở lại nơi tránh trú ẩn sau cơn bão này. Sau khi đấu trí thì cả hai nhóm đều bị đuổi khỏi hòn đảo vì hòn đảo nghi ngờ họ đã tiết lộ bí mật ra ngoài thế giới và kéo người đến. Sonetto fiddles with the communication device, making sure Lilia's voice is loud and clear. Now Regulus can hear the exchange with perfect clarity.
She's found herself a good spot, overlooking all of us from up there.
Akana đang nhìn chúng ta làm gì đó.
The center of the island where the number people are heading. The entrance to the cave where Vertin and 37 are going. And the beaches in the storm. Nothing escapes her sight.
Chưa biết âm mưu Akana ở đây là gì.
Impressive! Maybe she's planning her escape.
Is she
Akana
also
vẫn
going
là
to
điều gì đó
swim?
rất là bí ẩn.
It seems like we're in for a swimming competition. Speaking of which, it would be nice if those tortoise slowpokes could swim a little faster.
She hangs up and resumes surveillance of her target. The next 2 hours are critical. The islanders are busy with the cleansing ceremony, while the outsiders are preparing for their departure.
Look, Sonetto, I understand your plan now. But I still can't shake off a bad feeling about all this.
Kế hoạch là gì?
Don't worry, Regulus. We have gone over this many times. The margin of error should be below 0.00025%. I'm confident that it will work.
Cái số này có như bằng không, còn tính ra là gì?
I know. Spare me with the numbers. I know I can rely on you.
She waves her hand quickly, as if swatting away the numbers like flies.
I'm still worried about Vertin. Will she make it back in 2 hours? If she doesn't come back in time, who's going to take charge and guide us? We'll have to steer our own course, won't we?
Yes.
Tin đi cầm theo vali không? Suetonos.
Laplace is gathering every piece of information they can find on the storm. The discovery of the asymmetrical nuclide R was already a remarkable breakthrough. It would help the immunity research a lot if the timekeeper could find something useful in that cave.
The pirate is not satisfied with the answer. Evidently, she has a strong opinion on that matter.
I don't think she's going to have a lovely time there, judging by what happened to me last time.
Having spent the longest time here, she undoubtedly the most qualified to comment on the subject.
Is it just me, or do you also find this a bit fishy? The dangers aside, using an answer as a reward? What? Is this deity some sort of answering machine?
In fact, apeiron is a philosophical concept introduced by the ancient Greek philosopher Anaximander, which means the origin of everything.
The origin of everything. Apeiron một thực thể gì đó trên hòn đảo.
It is the physical manifestation of the boundless, the indeterminate, and the infinite. Everything arises from it and returns to it. But it appears to serve a more practical purpose for the believers on this island.
Miss Marta told me about this. There are limits to the knowledge one can acquire, even when using numbers, which are considered closest to the essence. But apeiron is a boundless, limitless existence. If we wish to seek knowledge beyond our own limitations, we must turn to it for help.
She faithfully recites what she learned from teaching of apeiron. Apple adjusts his bow tie, grateful for her contribution.
To the best of this apple's recollection, the more ancient, abstract, and intangible an entity is, the more likely it possesses arcane powers beyond our fathom. By communing with the supreme existences through sympathetic magic, worshippers could gain the guidance of their transcendental gnosis. They would, of course, exact a price from the worshippers as well.
Price?
Cái giá phải trả. Just hearing the word make her heart sink.
Could you be more specific on that, Mr. Apple? What's the price? Lives or something else?
Cái giá phải trả cho việc bảo vệ hòn đảo này là gì? Thử
Vertin,
thách này là gì?
jump over here.
Underground labyrinth, the island.
Very good. Now you are on number 1.
Số 0 đã trở thành số
And
1.
you should jump to 7. This is a 4x4 magic square. You just need to make sure every 4 steps you take adds up to 34.
4x4 magic square rồi đấy. Lại tính toán gì đây? Howling wind fills the air. The unstable footing is the only solid thing they can rely on. The path into the cave is completely different than before. The transparent stairs are gone, as are the swirling golden lines in the air. Now only cold rock walls surround them, and numbered bricks lie beneath their feet. It's a game of hopscotch, unlike any other.
I don't understand, 37. This place was different the last time we were here.
This place different.
It has changed because the test has begun. The path to new knowledge is always harder than verifying a known result.
Lại giải đố à?
Don't worry. This is like a labyrinth with a minotaur. There is always a way to the center. But weren't those labyrinth walkers offerings to the Minotaur?
Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to care or be concerned at all.
Now we're going to solve the magic square. Vertin, the next number is 10.
1, 7, 10, 18 rồi. Whoosh! Xong. The world turns around them. Its space is revealed. As the magic square is solved, the maze shifts once more.
Oh no! It turned into a magic circle. We have to calculate again. This one's easy. The sum of the numbers on each circle should be equal to the sum of the numbers on its diameter plus the number in the middle. We're just going from a square to a circle. It's not that difficult. You are now on 32. We need to find 17 or 21.
Là sao? Completely absorbed in solving the puzzle, she doesn't notice what's coming up behind her. A geometric figure with the number 21 hurtles toward her. For a moment, she thought she heard it chuckle.
Careful, 37. The numbers are coming to life. We need to put them back in place.
Vãi, chuẩn bị đánh số à? Đánh số theo đúng nghĩa đen. Recommend, ok, đánh thông tin này đi.
Program activated.
3 times 7 equal 21.
What? Are you making fun of my name?
White shell
3 x 7 bằng
pencil-like four
21.
lines.
Ah! It
9,
deflected my
21.
arcane skill.
33. Là sao? Đánh con gì?
Vertin, it's no use attacking 21. Just focus on 9 and 30. Start with the number that has the largest absolute value.
Ok, đánh 33 trước.
33.
Ok, tôi sẽ đánh tất cả.
I will remember your sacrifice. Charging.
Đánh tất cả thì làm sao?
The light that illuminates all.
Ồ,
Faraday's miracle.
ồ. Không đánh được 9 luôn.
Worry.
And you hypothesized a good point.
Loading.
No other study could show you this. Taking another look?
Aim and shoot.
Rồi, 33. 33 không đánh được hai con này.
Under attack.
Thắng nữa. Ồ, sao con này chuyển 33 rồi? Ủa, trước nó là 9 mà. Ai đang ít máu?
I admire your courage.
A new hypothesis.
Ok, bắn nốt phát này.
Charging.
Có được un.
For you and for us.
No other study could show you this.
Barrage.
Thấy chưa?
Circuits functioning properly.
Bắn hết tất cả.
Circuits functioning properly.
A good point.
I, robot, child of science.
Phase 2. Đánh con gì chết là con này chuyển thành 33. Vô hết rồi.
Keep going. For our dream.
Tôi sợ là 33. The ground ceases to shake and everything comes to a standstill once again. The numbers have returned to their original positions. 37 breezes past them with a cheerful smile, making a beeline for the exit.
Like I said, it's not that big of a deal.
She stops. Before the gate stands a familiar figure. Ai vậy?
I thought the next question would be the fourth circle, the monster group, or Hilbert's Infinite Grand Hotel. I never
Nói
thought
cái gì
it
vậy?
would be 6.
Ồ, 6 ở đâu này?
Hello, 6. Are you the real thing?
6 đang làm gì vậy?
Yes, I'm the real 6.
so sure. When it comes to the essence, we are all shadows cast on a wall by a flickering fire. How do you know you're the real six?
Bắn un vào đầu 37 phát. That was too much to take in. Even 37 can't help but step back.
Did you just smile? Now I very much doubt that you're real.
I didn't. And I am the true six. This gate has always been guarded by a six.
The leader reverts back to the blank expression. 37 doesn't seem too thrilled to see her friend here.
I have a bad feeling about this. I think the question we're about to answer will be very simple. It's just a formality, isn't it? You'll ask a question and let us through. I've seen you do that on other tests before.
Formality is also important.
Phải theo quy tắc.
No, only the essence is important. Only the forms are important.
Six shakes his head, showing no inclination to continue the debate.
This is a question about the essence and forms, 37. Please pay heed to it. As for Miss Verton, we only expect you to lend a patient ear.
Very well.
Very well then. 37 looks at Six with determination, the same look she had when she faced that challenge in the game of Kotabos. She's confident that she can solve any problem that comes her way.
37. If your
Today.
pursuit of truth were to lead to the destruction of your faith and beliefs, would you still keep going?
Yes, sir.
What?
Come. She exclaims involuntarily.
What kind of question is that?
Wow. Không thể trả lời luôn. To be continued luôn. Từ sao? Oracles at Delphi. Trả lời cho câu hỏi. Nhà tiên tri ở Delphi à?
If my pursuit of truth will be the destruction of my beliefs.
Thì she shakes her head repeatedly, looking more perplexed than when she checked the Manus followers' math homework.
I came for the truth, and my faith is the truth. Why would the truth be destroyed by the truth? If it's because I did the calculation wrong, I'll go back and do it again. And next time, I will do better.
An answer without hesitation, causing the gatekeeper to pause for an extra moment of silence. A
What
moment of
if the
silence.
essence of truth is there is
Moment
no
of
truth?
Hóa ra là vì sao câu thoại của Six trong gameplay là a moment of silence và a moment truth à?
Isn't that also a form of the truth? Its
Sự thật là không có sự thật
non-existence
gì.
is an answer in itself, is it not? You're speaking like 210. Are you really six?
Nhưng mà mấy người này suy nghĩ phức tạp thế. Toàn nhà triết học này. 37 has clearly run out of patience with sophistry. She stares at Six in annoyance, trying to detect any sign of his face that she might be playing joke on her.
I should be more specific. You may see it as another allegory. A gate stands before you. Open it, and you will find the truth you seek. But at the same time, the world as you know it will crumble. Will you still open it?
Mà thôi. 37 blinks. This time her answer isn't more clear and resolute.
Yes.
Yes.
If my world changes because the truth is revealed, doesn't that mean my previous understanding was wrong and should be corrected? If what's behind the gate is really the truth, why would I give up the truth for falsehood?
Sao?
I see.
Cô Thi
You've
nhận ra cái gì vậy?
passed. As a reward, I will bestow upon you this sacred ritual.
Cái gì đây?
It will bridge the gap between you and the supreme existence during communion.
A gilded scroll is presented to her, but the winner only furrows her brows even harder.
Was that it? You didn't even ask a question that posed a real challenge. See, Vertin? I knew this was just a formality. Vertin?
Oh, but
No, 37. I think this question.
37.
6 interjects.
There are some words I'd like to share with you. Not as 6, but myself, who used to live under the name Atticus.
Hồi nhỏ thì trước khi là Six thì từng tên là Atticus. Xong rồi nhận lại tên Six từ bà dì.
We know
Bà
the
dì
story
tên
of
là một
Socrates'
Sixer.
life, how truth and politics are at odds with each other.
Socrates nè.
Either be wise, uninvolved, and look on, or be practical, involved,
Người ta trí
and
thức
suffer.
cũng học về các hiền triết gia thời Hy Lạp.
I hope you will
Socrates
remember
các
your
kiểu.
answer when the defining moment comes for you.
He leaves. The game has been a disappointment. 37 froze in a frustration, but she keeps a tight grip on her scroll. The gate in the center of the circle has swung open, but the path ahead is still shrouded in mist.
We should go, Vertin. There's a long way ahead.
Bất định nói
I
gì vậy?
hope the next question will be more fun.
Burton vừa rồi định nói gì? Ủa, không nói nữa à? Ủa là chưa nói gì đã đánh rồi. Tưởng là đánh cái gì vậy?
Join with us, comrades.
Lại đánh những con số à?
Yes!
Đánh 42 à?
73! A good number. It's the 8th twin prime, the 8th lucky prime,
73 là số nguyên tố thứ 8 à?
and the same
Cái
combination
gì?
as 37. But sadly, you're the 21st prime number, which makes you less than perfect. Vertin, let's start with...
Đây là số gì? À 73 à? Không phải 33, 73 421.
With 73, because it has the largest absolute value.
Tại sao đánh 73?
Nice choice, Vertin.
Thì
You
cứ đánh
are
con lớn
a
nhất thôi à?
quick learner.
Chả phải suy nghĩ gì à? Thế là đánh con lớn nhất thôi.
I admire your
A
courage.
new hypothesis.
Loading. Keep up the pace.
No other study could show you this.
Target confirmed.
Target confirmed.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
A good point.
Charging. Loading.
Loading.
Taking another look.
The light that illuminates all. Faraday's miracle.
Một thứ test.
I will remember your
A new
sacrifice.
hypothesis. A good point.
Sharp fang.
The benefits of field mapping. Confirm the coordinates. Don't touch the device.
Cheer up. Don't worry. Charging.
An academic question.
I admire your
No.
courage. Barrage.
Rush. No. Boom, boom.
Limited scale, infinite lines.
Infinite scale, infinite line.
Calculating distance.
Calculating distance.
We worked on this collaboration together. I'll write you into my...
Ok, tiếp theo.
Nothing I haven't expected so far. Just like what Mom told me. They're just games, like skipping rocks, katabos, and hopscotch. I've always been good at games.
Những thử thách này thì chỉ là trò chơi.
There's the gate, Vertin.
Đánh những con số
We're
cao
almost
nhất.
at the end.
37 claps her hand with satisfaction, having resolved yet another obstacle. But the companion is much more pensive. Vertin đang suy nghĩ
What's
gì
the
vậy?
matter, Vertin? You've been quiet since we met 6, but you're number 0, not 6. You have no common factor with him.
No. I'm only thinking, what's the question you're going to ask? We've only got one chance.
Đi hỏi một câu
The most
hỏi.
important question of all, of course.
Và thì làm nào để thành cơn bão
About
à?
the essence of the emanation, right?
It was not a hard guess. The islanders devote their lives to study and service of the essence. Nothing is more important than this question. The essence reveals the ultimate truth that underlies all existence. Everything else is just fragments of the phenomenal world. It might not directly solve the issue of the storm immunity, but knowing its nature will certainly have with the aspect, and it's the key to solving not just only one problem, but many others.
Well, the essence of it is important.
Đi tìm bản chất của cơn bão,
But
nhưng mà
one day, we will eventually come to understand it. Even if we leave it alone for now,
nếu
it will still be
cơn
there.
bão chỉ là một
Yes.
gọi là hiện tượng tự nhiên thì làm sao?
I
Không gì đặc
think
biệt.
so.
She seems to have something else in mind.
I can't stop thinking about Regulus. Despite being so close to the answer, she turned back in the cave, determined to earn the answer rather than receive it on a silver platter. It's like covering your ears in front of the oracles at Delphi. How typical of an irrational number.
Bị tay lại trước.
But she was also right, wasn't she? None of the precepts forbids one from doing so. People like her may fall behind or get distracted along the way, learning at a slower pace. But in the end,
Chương 5
we will all
Regulus gặp
converge.
cái hiện tượng gì vậy?
It doesn't matter if some arrive sooner than others.
Regulus được nói cho tí, được nói cho
So-
bí ẩn của cơn bão á.
Are you going to ask something else?
This time she nods.
Yes, I have come up with a better question. A question that will solve all our problems once and for all, and free everyone from the emanation. It's not
Okay.
as profound as my first question, but it's an equally good one.
I see. I will stop here then.
Huh?
Ủa, hỏi gì? Không cần hỏi. He turns around, eyes wide with surprise.
Vertin, are you turning back like Regulus? But you're a 0. You're not an irrational.
No, I won't go far. I will wait for you here. This is your gate to open. It is your question, your answer. I will stay here and watch over you. If you encounter any danger in there, I will come to your aid at once.
But don't you also have a question to ask Aperon? Aren't your doubts unresolved?
No, I don't need to ask anymore. The question you're going to ask, the one that will free us all from the emanation, is exactly the question I want to ask. 37.
37 tilts her head curiously, but her confusion soon fades. She quickly understands, as she does with most things in life.
I see. So you're choosing to be the one who looks on, like the third kind of men in the Olympic Games. A choice of insight, most appropriate for the number 0.
Without further hesitation, she turns and steps into the final gate.
In that case, I will see you later then, Vertin.
See you
Okay.
soon, 37.
Tạm biệt. Put the suitcase down and breathe. Be ready for
Will
anything.
this really be the collapse of her world as she knew it? Like Six said, if that happens, I'll be here to hold the umbrella for her.
Rồi, câu hỏi là gì? Câu trả lời sẽ là gì? Thì chúng ta có được biết bí ẩn đằng sau cơn bão bây giờ không? Tiếp theo, outside the limits. Bối cảnh đâu đây? Đây là trong một cái hang hội nào đây? Sao không thấy người nào quen quen này? Ủa? Chúng ta vẫn ở đảo đúng không? Đây trong cái hang động này này. The prisoner in the cave này. The cave is bathed with warm, flickering candlelight. Preparations for the cleansing ceremony are finally complete. The integers are waiting for their leader to return.
Do you think 37 is going to make it?
888 lowers her voice, concealing her worry.
Who knows?
210 này. Leaning against the cavern wall, 210 absentmindedly adjusts the graphite on his hair out of boredom.
6 should be the easiest one to pass. The math puzzles in the labyrinth shouldn't be a problem for our little star either. The only tricky question is from Apeiron, and no one knows what it will be. It is a fair game. Answer Apeiron's question and it will answer yours.
Nghĩa là Apeiron hỏi
But
mình
if you
cái gì
give
đó.
the wrong answer, oops.
Sợ vậy. He pinches the grape between his finger and crushes its juice splatting onto his hand.
It'll hardly be a graceful end.
Apeiron là một thực thể gì? Một thực thể bí ẩn gì đây?
You are gross.
88 shakes her head, not even bothering to hide her disgust.
We know little about the test. The last person to pass the test was 300 years ago. The price of failure was high. For the longest time, the Sixers forbade people from risking their lives for it.
Well,
Thì giá phải trả là gì?
6 lied. Someone passed the test 4 years ago.
Mẹ của ấy à? Mẹ 37 à? An unexpected piece of information. Even 210 straightened up in attention. The Banshee gazed into the distance, watching the shadows cast by the candles dance on the wall.
The two of them are so much alike. Their talents, their mindsets, even their first thoughts when facing an impossible challenge. It is an irresistible temptation indeed. With a path to all truths right in front of you, just within reach, who wouldn't want to give it a try?
Đây là bậc nấc thang lên thiên đường. Deep in the labyrinth, the island, amid the swirling lights and shadows, the trial is reaching its conclusion. She has reached the heart of the maze, the lair of Minotaur, where the final challenge awaits. Through the mist, a form gradually takes shape. First it appears to be a scholar, then a soldier, but it continues to transform into the king, a farmer, a child, an elder. Mẹ. Finally it stops and solidifies into the young woman with sharp and chilling smile.
Mama,
Mama,
how are you here?
Mama, Mama. The soft chuckles leaps out from the shadow. Just kill the man.
I'm not who you think I am, child.
Mẹ của 37 là 77.
I'm but a shadow, a flicker
Lớn hơn
of
40 số.
fire, a projection before you. The finite cannot
40
comprehend
cộng
the
37.
infinite. Your limited senses cannot imagine what you've never seen,
11 trên 7.
nor fathom what you've never heard. I am the answer to your desperate prayers. I am the blindfold before you see daylight. I'm the reflection of your confused, hollow faces in the water. I am the lingering echo of the last visitor.
À, đây là người cuối cùng, đúng là mẹ của 37 này.
But you look just like Mama.
4 năm trước này. Eagerly, 37 steps forward.
This is the last obstacle of the test. The gate of truth is just ahead, right? And here you are, standing in front of me. Does that mean that you finally reached the transcendental realm? So my conjecture was right, and our model did not fail, correct? The transcendental realm?
The woman's laugh is strange and unsettling.
You speak adorable nonsense, my dear daughter. Did you really believe what I said?
Sao nhìn mặt sợ vậy? Mặt creepy vậy.
Silly little goose.
Và nhìn mặt như Akana vậy. 37 stops in the tracks and lifts her head in disbelief. She locks her eyes with the aquamarine orbs that unmistakably her mother's eye.
Have you not doubted, even for a moment? You did.
You wavered when you strolled the shores at night, when you inevitably gazed at the geometric bodies. If they really are manifestations of the transcendental world, why can't I find Mama's number in the broken pieces? You thought. Why can't I hear her voice? Why can't I see their patterns? The darkness blinds me. I miss you, Mama.
Gì vậy?
Oh, my poor, sweet daughter. You are too young and naive, too attached to what is familiar and too trusting of your teachings. You should have continued doubting instead of following my outdated footsteps. Was the conjecture wrong? Was the model correct? It does not matter, child. The rules of the game have changed. The chaos makers, the fearmongers, and the rule shapers, they have already outpaced us. We were not wrong, we simply fell behind. We were blinded by the dream of the transcendental realm and could not see through reality. But worry not, my daughter. You have made it here, and that is all that matters. We will do the calculations together. This time, the results will be more accurate than ever.
17 còn sống không vậy?
Mama!
With a gentle smile, the woman tucks her hair behind her ears and reaches out a hand to the girl.
This world is an enormous wasteland, 37. Look at the creations in it. The congested, silent herds that scurry to and fro in their meaningless lives. Never have they looked at the stars above, nor bent to smell the flowers. The melodies of the patterns above go unheard by them, their souls unresonant to their wisdom. They are the prisoners of their bodies, complacent in their dulled senses, and conceited over their success of ruling the planet through violence and bloodshed. They mocked us, shunned us, and slaughtered us. They discriminated against us throughout the ages, branded us as lunatics, and spat on what we held dear. But we never gave up once. We were never truly defeated. One day, they will be proven wrong, and they will be forced to admit it. My daughter, my precious little pearl. Come to me, back in your mother's arms. Let us return to a time before disputes and disasters, when it was just you and me wandering the boundless beach.
Mình chính là hội trưởng của hội Manos Vĩ Tích.
I will share with you the infinite secrets of this world, the essence of all things, and the truth that transcends everything. That's what you came for.
Sao vậy?
Yes?
Đây là tôi là ai? Her eyes are earnest and sincere. 37 slowly climbs the stairs, longing to reach out and grab her mother's hand. You suddenly look up, confused, and ask the question.
But Mama, I am 37, not infinity. Why would I want an infinite number of secrets?
Hả? Cái gì?
The ground is shaking. Did she give the wrong answer?
Cái gì? Sao xảy ra vậy? Câu hỏi là gì? Karen's illusory landscape shifts again. A fierce wind abruptly rises around her. Amidst the howling gale, 37 looks defiantly up into the air, her eyes peering past her mother's silhouette.
I don't long for the infinite secrets, for it is not within the scope of my number. I know who I am. I am only 37, a finite number, a pebble in the sand. The tides could wash over me, engulf me, and crush me at any moment.
Engulf me and crush me at any
Even
moment.
so,
But I'm only
I am glad to
37.
be 37, for I know my limits. I know my boundaries. A concept whose supreme existences cannot even fathom.
Her mother's shadow shatters. The shards shimmering and pulsing the air as if they were alive. The wind picked up, whipping her head around and forcing her to narrow her eyes against the current. But she stands her ground, refusing to yield.
Apeiron, the boundless one.
Đây thì là
I
cái
am
bầy
here
thì là
for
ảo
a
ảnh thôi.
simple question. How
Hỏi đi.
can we escape the darkness of the phenomenal world and be free from the emanation forever?
Làm thế nào? Tự nhiên Apeiron bảo, ai biết? Her voice disappears into the wind like a pebble sinking into the pond. But then the ripples echo back. Ta không biết. Ủa, nghe tiếng người ngoài hành tinh sợ vậy. Bài toán ba vật thể à? The humanity shelter Russian. Incomprehensible sounds in other years like an ancient echoes rising from the depth ocean. They are recognizable syllables of any known language, but more like reverberations between layers of rocks or each note stabbing through like a dagger. Her breathing becomes labored and blood trickles from her nose. Dizziness turns in her head, causing her vision to blur and double.
How? It clearly promised me an answer. Is it
Chảy máu
because
các kẹo lên.
the answer to my question,
Quá tải
the
kiến thức rồi.
transcendental truth, is outside of our limits too?
Làm ra được giải thoát bằng cái chết à? Chỉ có chết mới giải thoát được khỏi cơn bão. Sợ đấy.
Make way! Move!
Make way for Prince Ali.
Madam Lucy, we have the right pronunciation.
Oh,
The script you gave me was correct. This is the arcane language of the incantation. Where did you get it?
oh,
Very well. Give it to me.
oh.
Inform all research teams that we are moving on to the next phase of the
Vậy là
project.
có nghi thức rồi. Có cái ritual đấy rồi. Swift and sure footsteps strides past glass workroom, stopping at the main control room of the Storm Observation and Research Initiative. The control station is bustling with activity as license sends messages through electrical signals and pneumatic tubes to various offices or parts of the well-oiled routine. Enigma is here too.
If you're here to check on the progress, there is none. I'm afraid you'll leave disappointed, Madam Lucy.
The robot hardly notices the mockery of his tone. She approaches one of the license and holds her out her hand. In her palm is the script từ chữ T, brought by the dog.
Send this to everyone.
Là una,
It has been verified.
là una
This is the
song.
correct pronunciation of the immunity ritual.
This is...
His hands tremble. His smile sighs the tiny slip of paper holds great importance. Following the pronunciation's guideline, he carefully spells out the first
La
word.
Unwa.
La una song. The script has taken from his grasp. Standing next to him, the license holds the script in her hands, also trembling with excitement.
We must share this with everyone!
Theo trailer là con này chết này, trẻ bị chết này. The thrust over to the control station. The script is transposed onto the screen. The license meticulously checks every detail, ensuring that nothing is
La
overlooked.
unua circlo.
C'est una cercle. She reads into the microphone. Her voice is confident and clear. With a final press of the send button, she turns with a satisfied smile on her face. Thanos bay màu. Thôi xong, Thanos đã buông tay. With a warning, her torso cracks apart and her entire form crumbles, shattering to the ground in pieces.
What was that?
Không trình độ mà đòi đọc. All hell breaks loose. Chairs scrape loudly against the floor. Coffee cups clatter to the ground, and people scramble about in frenzy. The directors of Lablas remain still, her eyes fixed on rapidly flashing lights on the screen.
Stop the transmission! The ritual is wrong!
She pauses. In the face of chaos and turmoil, it falls on someone to step up and take action.
No. The incantation is indeed correct.
Incantation là... Cái chuyện này là cái gì vậy? Tại sao lại một thứ bay màu vậy? Báo động đỏ. Như kiểu Thanos đọc Incantation rồi búng tay phát. Return to the Earth. Ồ, quay trở lại trái đất. Là sao? Cái này là gì? Tại sao lại quay trở lại trái đất? Chúng ta đang trên mặt trăng à?
What is going on?
What is going on? In other glass workrooms, researchers look up from their work in confusion. The airlock doors have been sealed tight, and their electronic equipment is flashing erratically.
Warning. Warning.
Warning. Warning. At the same time, all of their screens light up simultaneously, indicating the arrival of new messages.
Hey Dawkins, forget the outside. Come look at this. Some guys cracked it. They found the correct pronunciation.
Oh.
For real?
For real?
They better be serious if this is some kind of prank.
Despite the blaring alarms, the staff gathers around the screens, eagerly reading aloud the incantation that was just sent.
La una
circle. Xong, bay màu luôn. Một thằng béo bay màu. Tưởng phải có căn thì mới đọc được incantation. She runs down the corridor at full speed, gasping for air. Just as the airlock doors begin to close, he flings himself through. The closest room with glass squares is filled with thick white smoke. He sprints to the door and frantically pounds on it.
Ulrich! Dawkins! Victor! Ricard! Are you in there? Listen, if you receive the pronunciation of the incantation, do not recite it. Do not write it down. Do not pass it on. I know we've had our differences, but you have to trust me. I'm trying to save you.
Đào hết rồi. Bay màu hết rồi. The chilling silence looms on the opposite side of the door. The only noise that can be heard is Lucy's emotionless voice coming through the speakers.
Warning! Warning! All personnel stay away from their communication terminals. Do not recite any messages on the screen.
Đây là
Repeat,
chiêu trò
do not
của ai
recite
đây?
the incantation. Do not recite the incantation. Do
Chiêu trò
not
của
recite.
bọn phần Manus Vindicte. The door suddenly opens. The smoke pouring out nearly chokes him.
Richard?
Chỉ còn bụi. Ồ, sợ vãi. A cryptographer emerged from the thick smoke, his movements stiff and his face expressionless. As he opened his mouth to speak, a small crack forms at the corner of his lips and quickly spreads across his entire face, as he were made of clay. Đây là kiểu đảo ngược khác của cơn bão này. Incantation này khéo khi là gọi cơn bão đến. Suddenly he collapsed, his skin splitting and cracking like the parched earth.
Richard!
Enigma quickly moves to support him, preventing his colleagues from breaking into pieces on the hard floor. He checks his vitals, still alive. Only his skin has been affected by the mutation. Underneath the cracked exterior, he can still see human flesh and blood.
Don't speak. We're going to the Rehab Center.
Speak. I know what you're gonna say.
You go, Dawkins.
Lifting a muddy finger, he manages to point toward the room. Slowly, a monumental figure emerges from the hazy entrance. It is the mud golem, with thick clumps of mud dripping off its body. The only remaining human element is Dawkins' nameplate, barely clinging to his chest. Sợ vậy.
Dawkins!
Biến đổi thành hình dạng khác luôn. The airlock door at the end of the hallway hisses open. A squad of security guards with hypno bullets and restraint snakes barge their way in.
Researcher Adler, please evacuate immediately. We will take over from here.
Incantation đấy khéo như là incantation cơn bão chứ. Như ngày xưa có một ai đó đọc cái incantation này để gọi cơn bão đến, đảo ngược tất cả mọi thứ.
I will remember your sacrifice.
A good point.
Loading.
Sharp fang.
Taking another look.
Taking another look.
The light that illuminates all. Shell, damage, thunder, attack.
A new hypothesis. A good point.
I admire your courage.
The benefits of field mapping. Confirm the coordinates.
Keep up the pace.
A new hypothesis.
Allow me to double check the battery levels.
A good point.
A good point.
No other study could show you this.
Barrage.
Keep going. For our dream, comrade.
For our dream, comrade.
I thought the worst case would be that the ritual is useless since no one here can wield it. I was wrong. So terribly wrong. The reality is 1,000,000 times worse. We have invited a disaster. It is a curse, even more unpredictable, unstable, and uncontrollable than the mask.
He grips his head tightly, his voice hoarse as he shouts.
Dora crumbled to dust. Richard cracked like dry land, and Dawkins turned into a statue of mud. And Victor, he vanished. We've tried everything, but he's nowhere to be found. Yet he's here, typing, sending emails, getting the door for me. All of these catastrophic events, and only 3 words were uttered.
Nguồn gốc của Arcanist.
3.
The 3 words were uttered. 3. He shakes his head and laughs bitterly, not even in the mood for mockery after all that happened.
What are we dealing with, Madam Lucy? Which deity are we provoking and stealing from?
Không biết mà. No one can answer his question. The security guards are busy cleaning up the mess, while licenses are frantically issuing warnings and confirming the extent of the casualties. The rehab center's personnel have also arrived, and as they leave, the stretchers are filled with injured people. His supervisor finishes up the call and hangs up the phone on the wall.
Get some rest, Mr. Adler. Your mission is complete. Other researchers will take it from here.
You what?
You what? Giờ lại muốn đuổi thằng này đi. He asks in disbelief, anger swelling in his chest.
Are you not going to call it off? After all that's happened?
The research must go on.
Bây giờ mới là bắt đầu nghiên cứu này. The robot's answer is concise and cold.
The authenticity of the incantation and the fact that any arcanist can recite it were revealed to us through this unexpected mishap. Now, a new question arises. How can we eliminate the side effects? From now on, we no longer require the help of human researchers.
Vĩnh biệt. Her tone is calm and gentle, yet with authority. The decision has been made.
Only Arcanum can lift a curse of Arcanum.
Trở lại với 37.
37.
37, có chuyện gì xảy ra vậy? The eerie sounds continue to reverberate in the cave. 37 kneels on the transparent stairs, blood seeping from her mouth and nose.
Stay with me. I'll get you out.
Is he okay? Suitcase. The noises wouldn't reach her in there. It could be her refuge. 37 suddenly jerks. Slowly, an ornate scroll rises from her bosom. Oh.
Is this Six's scroll?
Gì đây? Mở ra thấy dòng là Unes Circle. The strange noises begin to fade. In its place is an ancient melody. Tiếng giai điệu cổ xưa gì đây? Cái giai điệu gì vậy?
Positive 1, negative 1, positive 2,
Wow,
negative
đếm cái gì
3,
vậy? Gì vậy?
3, negative 3, positive 2, negative 1, positive 1.
Rồi sao? Một chữ 2, chữ 3 là sao?
I see. I understand now.
What did you say? 37, are you feeling better now?
Thôi xong, 37 đã bị trong trạng thái điên hóa. She nods, having regained her clarity.
The numbers, Vertin. Six's scroll reconciled the gap between the supreme existence and me. I can now hear and understand. The answer to my question, the solution to free us from the emanation, the response Apiron promised me, is a string of numbers.
Đấy. Giải bằng hệ số nhị phân à? Giải mã à? Cái gì vậy? Tại sao con số này là cách giải quyết vấn đề? On Storm Immunity Incantation. Đây. Không đọc được. Là Une Modification Structural Breakdown luôn. Không nhìn thấy, không có khả năng quan sát được Victor là người vô hình. Clemo, yeah. The Rolling Boulder. Rolling Boulder kiểu như là cái ngày lăn xuống nó phải nâng lên liên tục, xong nó lại lăn xuống, giống kiểu điển tích trong thần thoại Hy Lạp. The winds die down. The cave is quiet again. The trial is over. As usual, the star Hermes has found her answer.
We got it. The key to the gate of truth. Apiron has answered me. This is the final solution.
Okay. She chirps with delight as the scroll completes its task and lands back in her hand.
We must leave here at once. We have to tell everyone.
I am so proud of you, 37. We will
so
save
proud of
everyone.
you. There's finally room to breathe, if only for a brief moment. Yet, the feeling is unease remains.
There's one thing I don't understand.
And that is?
She pauses mid-step and looks back, tilting her head inquisitively.
6. His scroll saved your life. Maybe he foresaw the dangers and protected you from it, so you can leave there almost unharmed. But what was he trying to tell you when he warned you about the collapse of your world as you know it?
Rồi sao? Collapse rồi gì? Biết được sự thật gì rồi? Underground passway, the island. The work is cleansing side is long. Only the sounds of dripping waters and soft footsteps can be heard in the tunnel.
Mind your step, everyone. We are passing the wall of truth. The wall will come crashing down if false words are spoken. Silence is advised here, unless circumstances dictate otherwise.
The followers nod with respect. They have walked past the word silence, goodness and wisdom respectively as part of the ritual. Only those who embody these virtues can find safe passage to the final cleansing. Sợ thế.
888?
The custodian suddenly steps up in front of the leader, blocking his path.
Forgive me, but this seems to be the right moment for some long neglected questions to be answered.
Ai là người đã từng 4 năm trước đã gặp Aperon? As she speaks, a few others emerge from the crowd and surround Six. On the narrow pathway, there is no way to get around them.
Perhaps, but hardly appropriate or righteous.
We will talk of righteousness after you've shared what you know, Six. You've been silent for too long. 4 years have passed since you became Six. And for 4 years, you have been hiding things from us.
Hết luôn. A moment of
The
silence.
long neglected questions have created a cloud of doubt between us. And now the boulder of fate is falling on us. And we are teetering on the brink of destruction. It's time to be honest and true to your people, while you still have them. We are the seekers of truth. It is unjust to keep us from it.
888 extends an arm, gesturing to the silent cave walls that surround them.
Let the wall of truth bear witness. I want nothing but an answer from you. I am not here to provoke untimely conflicts.
The word stands firm. The genuineness of her words is not to be doubted.
Answer her, Six. You should be glad that I am not the interrogator here, because the wall would have collapsed immediately.
The word remains silent. Seemingly unconfirmed, the rhetorician's mocked words as truth.
You may lie, but the wall will fall. You may stay silent, then I will lie to break the silence and the wall. Or maybe you could outwit the wall with the liar's paradox. Only sadly, I have tested it for you. One cannot deceive it by stating, I'm lying. After all, it's a test of morality, not logic. It needs your honesty, not your wit or anything else.
It's a delicate situation, one that requires precision. The leader remains composed.
What do you wish to know?
What else? The most important question, of course. The question about the essence.
Ai biết? Haiten takes a step, his voice trembling, no longer as calm as he used to be. His questions have blocked his mind for too long.
Why has our research stagnated for the past 4 years? Why did we fail to predict the emanation in 1929 and again in this time? Have we misunderstood the premise? What if the emanation is not a manifestation of the transcendental law at all?
To the cơn bão là gì? Six remains stoic, showing no signs of emotion.
Worshippers worship, thinkers think, governors govern, and researchers research. Your questions are not mine to answer, 210. A Six has no expertise on the study of the emanation. I'm not qualified to answer about its essence.
The truth is spoken, and silence were attests to its veracity.
Your question is too abstract, 210.
The custodian shakes her head and takes a step closer.
Don't dance around the subject, Six. The wisdom has been passed on to you, as it has to every other Six. You have inherited not only knowledge and insight, but also the memories of your predecessors. You must know the answer, for it is part of your inheritance. Tell us this. The last leader of the study of the emanation, 77. What question did she bring to Apiron? And what answer did she receive?
There's no immediate response, confirming that she hits the nail on the head.
I watched her walk into the cave and come out unharmed. I watched her, and the previous 6 board the ship in search of answers in the phenomenal world. The ship didn't come back in time. The emanation caught them.
Cả 6 tiền nhiệm với cả bố của Sophia đều lên tàu.
And that was only the beginning of our misfortunes. The model failed. Our whereabouts were revealed. Hysteria now poisons the minds of our people, and the empirical knowledge accumulated over the years suddenly no longer applies to the current situation. Why? What did she find out? Could it be that something's happened to the transcendental law above? Has the truth we believed in changed?
Cười. Barraged with so many questions, he lets out a chuckle. He smiles with relief, like a prisoner finally receiving his death sentence after years of waiting. It has the opposite effect on the crowd. They hold their breath with suspense.
Hippasus discovered the secrets of Root 2 and toppled Pythagoras' school of thought. The controversy surrounding Newton and infinitesimals presented a challenge to the groundwork of calculus. Russell's self-referential paradox sparked the third mathematical crisis. Though set theory was eventually perfected, the lessons on self-referentiality remained. In the end, Gödel's incompleteness theorems showed that proving or disproving everything is impossible. Therefore, absolute knowledge is unattainable.
Nói thẳng luôn đi. Khó hiểu quá. His profound sentiments echoed throughout the cave.
The boulder of fate will tumble down its peak, whether 37 is the one pushing it or not. However hard Oedipus tried to defy destiny, his path to tragedy remained unchanged.
Oedipus là người đẩy hòn đá lên đỉnh, xong rồi hòn đá cứ lan lại xuống, lại phải đẩy lên đỉnh.
You're talking in riddles again.
She furrows her brow. However, 6 gives her a small nod of respect.
I should thank you for bringing the question here, 888, so I may finally speak the truth. 77 did ask about the essence of the emanation.
Vậy là 77 đã từng hỏi về bản chất của cơn bão. He stands tall and looks around at the people. They are listening intensely.
She asked, what happened to the supreme existence? What plunged the world into madness? The answer was disorder and chaos.
The word of truth still stands. The trial left behind the ancient sages confirms his word. A deep, ominous rumble comes from the center of the island. The tremors are like the island is being shaken to its core, like a tsunami and a volcanic eruption combined.
You blasted!
Động đất gì đây? Haiten is the first to come to a realization. She lunged and grasped 6 by the collar.
You knew this all along! From the first day of your revelation, when you became 6, you knew that the emanation was not a manifestation of the transcendental law and patterns above, but rather a symptom of its utter disorder and chaos? And you knew that the transcendental realm of numbers was no more, and that the essence of Pneuma, the one true form we believed in, had become an ever-changing existence like the irrational numbers?
Some race threatens to consume him. The rhetorician glanced at the leaders, who has the audacity to confirm that their faith is shattered. He almost breaks into the bitter laugh.
4 years! You kept this to yourself for 4 years! Why? Was it for a false sense of peace? To keep the island stable? Did you deceive us to prevent the realization that our research would be in vain?
6 does not answer the added inquiries, for they are not within his
It's
duty.
time to halt the bickering. Get everyone out of here now.
The custodian steps in and separates them with a stern look. She then turns and begins to lead the panicked crowd to safety. Amidst the chaos, the leader lowers his eyes and reads the verses prepared for the ceremony.
Pray to the gods for what you are about to do, and pray that all goes well. Once familiar with this practice, you will understand the constitution of both eternal gods and mortal men.
What happened? Did they not carry out the cleansing ceremony?
You will know the extent of all things, the boundaries of their entirety, and what connects them together.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
Con đảo bị bay màu. Sợ đấy.
No! This is...
Quái vật.
The large-scale ritual on this island is undoing itself?
Tại sao?
You will see, as you should, that the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
Why is our circle gone?
Chỉ đã xảy ra vậy. The leader stands quiet and resolute, like a rock by the sea, watching the four heavenly transcendental, feeling the tides of change wash over everything.
Thus, you will not hope for what is beyond your reach, and you will not be deceived.
He rolls up the scrolls and ends his reading.
Pray, my friends. Pray for yourselves and pray for everyone. Pray for all the suffering and misery around you.
Đây là kết thúc của hòn đảo.
Reach into the unseeable darkness and pray to the unknowable supreme. Speak your hopes, for you are a finite creature yearning to transcend its own existence. The determination that once helped us overcome our insignificance and touch the light of Pneuma should guide us once more.
In the darkness, he lies out of touch.
Where are you going?
To the cave. The trial is not over. The final cleansing is yet to come. There are still duties to fulfill.
He trudges forward. With his back to the fearful crowd, he sets off again onto the lonely road, into the long night. I walk the only road, the only one that I have ever done. Not the empty street. Lại nghe gì đây? Có ấy này. Cái này có cái báo gì đây? Báo cáo gì đây? Funeral postman notice. Dora, obliterated. Skin transform. Dawkins mất khả năng nói luôn. Victor disappear from existence, no longer physical. Nhưng thực thể thì sợ đấy. Cái incantation quái quỷ gì vậy? Hello, bà già.
Here is a well-known question you must have heard. What goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 in the evening? It's so well known that no one finds it novel anymore.
Con chó.
But please, do me a favor and answer me yourself.
Con người hay là cái này đi?
The Sphinx,
okay.
An embodiment of mercy and nobility in Egypt, was seen as a mystery to the Greeks. A dangerous being that kept secrets and delivered the punishments of the gods.
Nhưng mà thân sư tử thì gọi là gì?
When the question is answered, the ritual is finished, and the answerer is granted the right to reach the treasure it guards.
Ritual?
Yes, a ritual. Whether it is by pouring out wine, slaughtering a calf, or circling round a fire with a baby in your arms.
Right.
It is an agreement, a question that demands an answer. Every desire has a price, whether it is paid in wine, blood, or fire. But sometimes that sacrifice is taken from you without it ever being noticed. And the treasure you seek might be the undoing of your own desires. Let us take a look at another question. Stranger, what's your name?
Polyphemus là ai?
Cried Polyphemus. Nobody. Odysseus answered. And it allowed him to flee the Cyclops cave. Safe and sound.
Đây là của Odyssey.
A human being
Trong sự
and
kiện là
nobody.
Odyssey trở về đây.
Two answers that could not
Lái
be
tàu
more
trở về
alike.
sau trận chiến thành Troy.
Both were bound to fate by their answer.
Gặp con khủng lồ một mắt.
All right, dear. Time to call it a day. As for you, you'll get the answers you seek. You've already paid the price.
Đây à? Tôi trả giá cái gì vậy? Beans. Ồ. The party of beans. Đây là lý do tại sao không được ăn đậu trên hòn đảo này. Clear heritage notes. Ok. Assistant record. Mata. Nghe ai nói? Xin là ai? Party of beans. The party of beans. One, abstain from beans. Two, do not pick up what has fallen. Đây là các luật trên hòn đảo. Luật đầu tiên là không được ăn đậu. Luật thứ hai là không được nhặt những gì đã rơi. Regulus thì phá hết luôn. Ở đâu đây? After a long period of darkness, clarity began to blah blah blah. Ahead lies completely unfamiliar scenes.
Did the earthquake do this? I was in the cave with 37.
Còn mấy tiếng. Ồ, không có thời gian báo hiệu cơn bão à?
Time broken.
Hey, Vertin! Here you are!
Đây là đâu? The familiar sound is heard in the distance.
Yeah. Come! People are waiting. The feast is going to start.
Feast?
Yes! Today's the big day! We're celebrating because we kicked Manus Vindicte off the island, found the key to storm immunity, and saved the numbers people from great disaster.
Giấc mơ mãi chỉ là giấc mơ.
What?
But Regulus has already taken off.
Come on, Vertin! You'll miss out on the delicious honey-roasted rabbit.
Tại sao tôi phải đi vào giấc mơ thế này? She jumps forward excitedly, but something cracks loudly when she lands.
Wait, Regulus, you just kicked over something.
What? What is it? Something for the cattle? Whoever left this here nearly tripped this great captain. Forget it. Come, Vertin! What are you still doing there?
4. Do not poke the fire with what? 5. Do not jump across bar. 6 là gì? Nó khắc lắm. Tại sao lại có mấy cái trò này? The square is alive with joy and activity. The usual silence and seriousness have been replaced by the symphony of giggles and cheers. The aroma of roast rabbit is thick in the air. Barrels of wine are being rolled around, and people are gathered, drinking and chatting merrily.
Nice wine. Did you make it yourself?
Careful, Miss Lilia.
Đây.
Too much wine can corrupt
Thần rượu
one's
nho
body
đây.
and will.
Dionysius.
Besides, you are already halfway through our stock for the year. But this drink you brought is pleasant to the nose.
Coffee.
You said. I have heard many things about it.
Coffee là làm từ hạt, cũng hạt đậu. Hạt đậu cà phê.
Bitter.
Bitter.
Poor guy. I was expecting more from a man of your size.
She goes to the barrel to fill her
For
cup.
God's sake, Regulus, keep an eye on your first mate here. Wow, he's so out of it right now.
It appears that this
uống rượu nhiều quá rồi.
apple's abstinence from the bottle will have to begin anew.
Vertin, finally! I was looking for you.
37 waves from distance. Sophia at her side, arm in arm.
Hello, everyone.
Lại một giấc mơ
We have
như
a big
là
announcement to make.
giấc mơ về cam của Vertin. Giấc mơ được ăn cam.
Sophia's just completed her proof and found her number.
Sao số là gì? Wing straps from above. 7. Do not enter the hole in new garments. Do not right or left. Okay.
Don't worry about the swallows. They're going to fetch 6 for us. He's napping in the Hall of Aperon. An excuse to not join the party.
Not so fast with the announcement, 37. People will find out sooner or later. Thank you for helping us, Vertin. We wouldn't have made it without you. And I look forward to our continued collaboration with the Foundation.
No. None of this makes any sense.
Đúng rồi. Nhớ lại hồi Night do not sleep on the grave. Do not make the bed as soon as you wake up.
Oh, enough business.
Nhớ lại
People
hồi
are
quả
having
cam
a
đi
party
Vertin.
here.
Hồi quả cam bị như nào giờ quen chưa quên rồi. The pirate comes over with a platter of rabbits, smiling as if England had just won the World Cup.
Well, what do you say to this lovely captain who just picked up some food for you?
They clumsily collide, knocking over the tray in Regulus' hand.
My apologies, Regulus. I was too focused on linear regression formulas.
Ah, that's all right. Wasn't me getting stuck in the kitchen roasting rabbits all day anyway. Unlimited supply of honeyed rabbits all day today.
Regulus picks up the dirty clay plate and puts it aside.
I heard Sophia is making her announcement today. I'm curious which number she will be.
Care to wager on that? I'd say she's a multiple of 3.
Sophia sẽ là...
Then I'd say she is a multiple of 139.
Gì vậy?
I have to admit, she has a good number.
Sophia sẽ là
A
số âm.
number 100 times better than me. 6 and 210 put together.
Số gì vậy?
Calculating. 37 plus 6 plus 210 times 100 equals 2.
Số dài vậy ai mà đọc được?
Oh no. She is not 25,300. I doubt anyone could live with themselves with a number that long.
Cả gà trống gáy ó gì vậy? The rooster crows loudly in the festive atmosphere.
You haven't met before. This is Amu,
Amu.
my white rooster.
Mona. Hãy mang gà trống đi khám phá.
Amu, this is Vertin.
Tìm Tree touch not the white tree.
White rooster.
Sẽ có luật thứ ba là không chạm gà trắng này. Cheers and sound feels the partition imply pick up an ID from the ground. Để phá các luật luôn. Có một luật lệ luôn. An Aperon delivers please a log half on the road. Six tables appear with chickpea salad and neatly sliced bread while people into what's the book. Phá luật. Chọc vào lửa bằng kiếm à. The flames burn fiercely, casting no shadows on the ground. Để phá mọi luật lệ. Gì đây?
Something's not right. None of this is right. Something's happened on the island. I must still be in the cave.
Wake up. 247. The turning anxiety fills the chest. The once joyful scenes now take a surreal quality.
I have to get out of here.
Ra khỏi đây bằng cách đánh ngay. Đánh giấc mơ. Blackpink King vãi, đánh Blackpink King. Vãi cả đánh gà trống trắng. Thật là ngộ. Boss luôn. Gái trưởng.
Critters eating beans and a white rooster. These are supposed to be taboos on the island. Is this... No. Something's not right. The flow of arcane skills on the island has changed. I need to get rid of them first.
I admire your courage and your hypothesis. Loading.
Ủa sao 6 không được 6 không được cắt.
Taking another look.
Ủa
The light that illuminates all.
6 không được mốc tin. 6 bị chặn mốc tin rồi. Ủa boss gì vãi. Rồi đã. Lỗi.
A good point.
The moment of silence.
Mỗi tí.
Charging.
The benefits of field mapping.
Learn from silence.
Learn from silence.
Aim and shoot.
Mình chạy như sao mà được. Cả nhà dựa có mỗi keyboard thì bắn in thôi xong. Quá là đen. Ôi là quá là đen. Tôi là quá là đen. Tôi rất quá là đen.
The moment of silence. The moment of utterance. Learn from silence.
Taking another look.
Chẳng ai không chạy đúng
Till
không
the
sao?
torch is lit.
Ồ, mất Moxie nữa, vãi chưởng. Biết thế dùng cái này như rồi phá giải được rồi.
Damn it, don't worry.
Quên mất. Tôi quên mất là cái con gà trước đi.
Time comes to
A
speak
good
the
point.
truth.
Loading. Charging.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The
Vậy là
balance
6
needs to be
phá giải được
restored.
cái xóa được debuff, mất không tăng được Moxie. Ồ, cái con gà cái mất gần hết máu lên rồi.
My surroundings changed. Is all this still an illusion?
Sao trở lại thế giới thực chưa?
Keep going. For our dream, comrade.
For our dream comrade.
Looks like the way we came,
Ồ,
but it's a little different.
di chuyển.
These signs, are they trying to take me somewhere? The way out, perhaps?
Di chuyển bằng gì? Bàn phím, click bấm này. Ateroscon promise, yeah. There's no option but to continue on. Where am I going? Toward the future. What's ultimate truth? Sự thật, sự tối thượng là gì? What's life beyond the phenomenal transcendent what? Ai đây? Ngươi là ai?
Martin, where are you going? I made some coffee for those clever eggheads.
Sao đây?
Enough
Cái
to
có
mend
hình
their
này.
broken souls after turning their backs on it for half their lives. Fancy a cuppa as well? Here you go.
Hip hip,
Regulus,
hooray!
it's a violation of their scripture.
Sao
You mustn't
Regulus lại
consume
có
any
hình
beans or bean-based products.
dị hiệu
Yeah,
gì?
yeah, the great sacred
Mặt xám
scripture
này.
again. Hey, think you can just walk away from a pirate without breaking any rules? Let's see you try. Ha! Now
Right.
you must have the beans. Or you can pick them all up.
According to
Wow.
their rules, I'm not to eat things off the ground, or pick them up for that matter. Though, this mountain of beans isn't going away by itself. Fortunately, it doesn't appear to be too stable.
Nhìn lên. Làm sao? Đi ra. Đấy. Dùng để nó đấy.
An illusion of a coffee bean mountain like this is almost as cliche as a pirate
Bà này
with a
nói rồi
hook
này.
for a hand.
Bà này là ai?
Something like this could never hold up to skepticism.
Bà lồng giọng cho mình này.
Mankind is slow in learning new ideas. They need new information to be explained in simple terms, using examples and analogies, or reduced to its most basic symbols and generalizations. Eventually, once they've gotten used to the formulas and outlines, they may just see below the surface
Là sao?
and find the deeper essence waiting there. What about you? What
Bản
do
chất của
you
chúng ta là gì?
think is your essence? Are you any more significant than a pile of coffee beans?
Chúng tôi là con người. Quá khứ của tôi hay là suy nghĩ của tôi? Suy nghĩ của tôi. My thought.
Ah, the mind, the soul. But do they really exist? A thirsty animal thinks of water and seeks out a clear spring. Hunger pangs tell the cheetah to seek its prey. The fear of isolation tells the flamingo to seek the safety of her flock. Every action we have ever taken was prompted by a natural impulse. Sparks of electric current that can be tracked, observed, predicted. Perhaps our thoughts, desires, and our minds are only the sum of these minute reactions of cause and effect. Perhaps none of us truly exist, darling.
Vậy là chúng ta chỉ... Linh hồn thì là những sóng não, tín hiệu truyền từ điện, từ não tới đi đó, dùng suy nghĩ. The Apollo star outside, so all is illusional protection. Xin chào bác Bảy.
Burton, where are you going?
Tôi muốn về
Still
nhà.
in a meeting. You'll have to leave from the left.
But I came in from the left. Why would I leave the same way I came in?
Oh no! You've made a mistake. Now you must stay behind bars until you prove the four-color theorem. Be careful not to make another mistake, or you'll be thrown into the Gorgon current and confined there forever. You look worried. Don't be. We're friends. I will defend you in court. I will try my best to reduce your sentence to trisecting angles with an unmarked straight edge and a compass.
I have to leave, but not from the right. There must be a way to reverse left and right.
Reverse 1999. Ồ vãi. Cái gì tôi chơi cái gì đây? Tôi chơi những thứ rất kỳ
So
lạ.
then left or right can be reversed as easily as changing your frame of reference. How can we hold people responsible for their actions when we use such malleable definitions? We lead our lives according to these strict rules. Rules that are always changing definitions. It's too much for this old brain of mine. Why not simplify our definitions? To learn about the world like we were kids once more. Let's begin with math.
Okay.
Could it be as mutable as left and right? Could there be a hidden integer between 3 and 4? Is 1 always 1? Or is it just our frame of reference?
The truth endures. Sự thật luôn chỉ có
But
một.
where is it then? This everlasting truth. Have you ever seen it? Have you basked in its radiance before? Maybe the shadows on the cave wall are our true reality. Maybe the sun is just another prop in our shadow theater. What if the people who chose to stay in the cave were the ones who were truly wise? Be careful what you hold to be true, darling.
Ok. Đây chỉ là một trò chơi thôi mà. Vậy, cơn bão thực ra chỉ là thứ mà trò chơi tạo ra.
Timekeeper, are you leaving the banquet? Perhaps we might go somewhere quiet. I wanted to speak with you about linear regression.
Terribly sorry, Sonato. I really must be leaving.
Tạm biệt Sonato.
Wait! Perhaps a more impromptu debate? I have some fresh ideas about our past discussions. Could I trouble you to help me refine them? The storm is gone. We have time to enjoy life again. You don't have to keep checking your watch or your task list anymore.
But time still is against us, and I haven't any left to spare. Not even to explain myself to Sonato. I hate to be rude, but I need a moment of peace.
Moment of peace.
If only I could turn everything silent.
Moment silence. Câm mồm vào. Ồ. Nói gì vậy? Nói gì vậy? Phải chưa? Giảm volume luôn.
I said, if you are going to stick to your plan, then you must value your time wisely.
Okay, giảm volume.
Don't get caught up in idle conversation. Be firm in your determination. But careful not to go too far. Otherwise, your silence may be taken as a slight. And should they retaliate, what then? That's no peace, but a silent war. And peace will not return until one side concedes, even if they are blameless. Doesn't that seem unfair?
Không có cách nào khác.
There's no other way. How decisive young people can be. You don't stop to ask who ought to take the blame, or if it is right that the innocent concede to the guilty. You only want peace, and damned be the costs. We can only hope that your snap judgments will always choose the right side, darling.
Vẫn còn hình chữ nhật. Distance sum. Chúng ta sẽ gặp Lilia. Xin chào Lilia.
Oh, you're still here, Vertin. I thought you had disappeared completely.
Sophia.
I was hoping I might talk to you about my number.
So sorry, but I really do have to leave now.
Okay, tạm biệt. 90 độ.
I think you may be the only one that can help.
Tung thực bánh này.
It won't take you long.
1 cộng 2 nhân 3, 12, 6. 6.
6. A perfect number. But it isn't my number.
Okay. Số là gì?
Let's try again. Reset the calculation for me. Back to 0. Put an asterisk and 0 and we can continue.
Không. Ok, mình nói gì vậy? 111 chia 3 bằng 37. Mà 37 không phải 37 đâu. Wow, đang làm gì vậy?
That can't be my number either. It's far too brilliant for me.
37 là 111 chia 3.
Please reset the calculation back to 0.
Ok, không. 2 nhân 3 6, 30, 30, 210. 2 ten. 2 ten.
2 10.
Đây là
I know 37 isn't a
4 số
fan.
nguyên tố liên tiếp nhau nhân vào nhau thành
Still,
2
I would
ten.
be honored to have an integer like that as my number. Let's try it one more time. I have a feeling that together we can find the right number for me.
Không. Ok, số Sophia là gì? Phải. Hàng ngàn con số này. A string of irrational number. I think I ought to reset it. Set 0.
Who am I?
Ghi số 1.
An old question.
Không một. Không sẽ đối đầu nhau.
It can't be as simple as your name.
Số 1 trên đảo là ai?
A name, after all, is only
Không một
worth
là
what meaning we give it.
hai số nhị phân.
Bewildered by their own existence, man turns to the ultimate truth for answers. But soon enough, they come to see the truth is also beyond their ability to comprehend. That is when the fear catches up with them. So they put aside their search for truth and look for something more straightforward. A simple answer, enough to satisfy a frightened child, caught between a comforting lie and something more frightening than the truth. That might be no truth at all. And if that is so, how can we know who we are really?
Tôi là chính tôi. Tôi tự tin là chính tôi.
Very good. Perhaps the truth lies hidden in the question. Hold tight to that answer, darling. A bit of elderly advice. There is no greater treasure. One day you might be amused by this idea. When you see yourself from someone else's eyes.
Rồi sao? Tròn, vuông, tam giác, chữ nhật. Tròn, vuông, tam giác. Giờ lại chữ nhật. Tôi đi về. Tôi trở lại thầy Đức chưa? Đây là đâu tôi là ai?
First is the circle, second is the square.
Third is the triangles and fourth is the rectangles.
37?
Đây là...
Is that you?
37 hồi trẻ con à? The little girl does not seem to listening. Is completely absorbed in building her castle.
Put the triangle on the triangle and the rectangle on the rectangle. Perfect! As things should be.
The emanation? Disorder and chaos.
Đây là 37 sau khi phát hiện ra sự thật.
This can't be. This isn't right. How ugly. How inelegant. How could this be the revelation from the patterns of the transcendental law above?
could such a terrible answer fall on my ears? I can't tell the others about this. There must be a mistake. I need proof. I have to go out there.
Phải. Đừng bảo là 37 là chính là Akana.
Vertin, my child.
Phải.
Are you here to partake in sand play as well? No matter how oft we arrange them, the sight of them never grows stale.
Màu tóc này.
Alas,
đơn giản thế mà.
I shall destroy it.
Vậy Akana thật rồi. Consciousness is not back to reality. Surroundings have reverted to the rocky wall, still enclosed within the cave. 37 stands with her head tilted, looking curious.
I think I had a terrible dream.
What did you dream?
Regulus claimed Six's throne and declared this the rock and roll empire of irrational numbers. She took out a jar of coffee beans and stuffed one into my mouth.
Đúng là ác mộng. Quá ác mộng luôn. 37 shakes her head hard, as if trying to rid of her mind of the horrific scenes.
I'm relieved that I woke up in time, and you as well. Let's go, Vertin. We need to tell everyone the numbers.
She chirps, her face lighting up with delight, finally free from falling. A beam of daylight, blah blah blah. The lengthy trials have finally come to an end.
Do you hear that? So many people out there. Must be Sophia here to pick me up. I told her she can wait for me outside. Sophia!
Thì ra vậy. The girl runs happily forward toward the light, like a young swallow.
Wait, 37.
Whooping out of sight. Got to catch up. Got to leave this place at once. Must say the fighting's here with the others. Finally, the light of days comes into view. Ủa, có gì biến thành đổ nát rồi. The gust wind suddenly rushed by, sending all their tourists and so forth. Súng lưu hình các kiểu. Đây là hành chiến tranh.
What?
Tại sao chiến tranh xảy ra? Tại sao mọi thứ lại chìm trong biển lửa? Đang yên đang lành. To be continued. Unfinished tune. Câu mới à? Incantation draw limit cộng 1. The character starting mercy. Ở đây là chuyên để bật un à. Generating 2 rank 1 precast incantation for target ally. Thế lại cộng 10 to the timekeeper là sao? Thế lại cái timekeeper lại có các người cũng có moxie. Đây các người gọi là moxie. Báo đi đây. A verse from unknown source recorded on a scroll. While brewing season, bang bang bang. In distance something falls. The cup drains the wine. Tired eyes dried up the sun. Everyone clings to the remain day. The body speaks to guess. Abuse the blah 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 blah. The end. The end. The wave of art. Làn sóng của nghệ thuật. Let's go. Ở đâu đây? Ngọn hải đăng ở đây. Ngọn đăng này là như kiểu là chỗ của Marcus vậy. Marcus trước có liên quan tới ngọn hải đăng ở quê nhà mà. Đây là ngọn hải đăng ở đâu? Military station. Đây chạy quân đội đâu đây? Thế thì có thể chiến thứ nhất rồi.
Monk, when will they give us the order to attack?
What's taking so long? The island is just across the bay. We have men, weapons, supplies, everything. Just give us order and we will take to shore. Check out these bad boys. Anti-arcanum weapons courtesy of the American from that Walden place. That creep just doesn't sit right with me. He's got that arcanus stink about him. But his technology's solid and we needed it. We've got to get ahead of the Serbs and the Greeks.
This army has been stationed here for a long time. Perhaps too long. The soldiers, stranded and demoralized by their failed landing, face days of uncertainty without orders while politicians bicker. They are left to eat their food meal by meal, watching the chances slip away.
Relax, Georgie. Leaves the decisions to the big shots.
Georgie.
I'm sure they'll just hug out the differences in the meeting room or something.
Yeah.
Besides, you saw the monsters on that island. Can't speak for everyone here, but I don't want to die.
Screw the negotiations. Screw the committee. Like it or not, we were the first ones to find the island, not the Austrians or the Germans.
Nước nào? Nga. He grumbles and picks the monocular back up, straining to catch another glimpse of island across the waters. The sea is tranquil, as is often is this time of year. The water sparkles under the golden sun, stretching to the horizon without the island in sight.
Damn, those arcanists have gone into hiding again. I swear I could see it from here yesterday.
Đây đạo rồi. He blinks, unsure if his eyes are tricking him.
Are those bird-like creatures leaving in droves?
His words barely catch anyone's attention. A new poker game is underway on the supply crate. A radio, a couple of beers, and game of poker. A rare moment of enjoyment. Who could ask for more?
Georgie, brother, leave them be. Come, play with us.
Come, Georgie. Georgie. The soldier does not seem He grips the monocular tightly.
What a good opportunity this is. It's too good to pass up. We've got to act now.
A drop of vibrant paint slides down his cheek and lands the ground with a splatter. Oh, quân đội này chuẩn bị dính triệu chứng cơn bão rồi này.
This island belongs to us. It's in our territory and we were the first to find it. Why shouldn't it be ours?
Lại chuẩn bị chảy màu sáp các kiểu, chảy màu dầu các kiểu. The card players pause, gawking at the plane sliding down. Yeah, the faces. Oh, triệu chứng cơn bão rồi.
The Austro-Hungarian Empire has officially declared war on Serbia. Russia is mobilizing in support of Serbia. Germany demands Russia to stop mobilizing at once. Germany is mobilizing. France is mobilizing.
Mọi thứ đều rơi vào hỗn loạn, hỗn mang, mất trật tự, hỗn mang. Takania. Ồ, chúng ta quay lại chính điện với tại Áo này. Đang gì xảy ra tại Áo đây? The street has turned into the curve of mesmering hues. The colorful paints swirl and burst, creating one spiral after another. It's almost like the stage set of a twisted carnival.
Father! Mother! Albert! Ilsa! Open the door! It's important! You have to listen to me!
She pounds on the door, but as soon as she makes contact, the door softens and everything disappeared. She trips through the door, but quickly recoils at the horror sight. The art and specimens, once delicate and exquisite, now resemble jumble of nothing.
No.
Pure paint.
This can't be.
Bố mẹ đã biến thành
Albert?
Biến thành ấy rồi. Still with a glimmer of hope, she carefully calls out to her
Clara.
brother.
It's odd to see you so flustered. What's the matter?
Chuẩn bị nhìn lên khuôn mặt, chảy những màu sắc ra. The familiar voice
I'm
brings
headed to the
immense.
business school. We'll talk when I get back.
Sắp bão rồi còn gì nữa. Nhìn người sắc màu đấy cơ mà. Albert picked up the hat. Thank goodness, he seems to be fine. Chắc không? He's still reliable brother, she remembers. The family pride. His sharp three-piece suit. Chạy tông tỏng này.
Business school?
Business school.
But didn't you swear to never go back? Ever since your human classmate shot your arm in a duel. Wait, what happened to your arm?
Không gì đâu. Sắp chết rồi. He turns around and Kakanya can finally see. Half of his suit is covered in colors, paint trailing down his face and pulling at his feet. An arm of flowing color is attached to his body, like mismatched puzzle piece.
Oh, Ethan. Yes, he wounded me. He had to prove his standing to the Brotherhood. There was no other way. But that's in the past. He gave me his arm, so now we're even.
Chặt tay thằng kia. He raised his left hand to show her the blade. Streak of blood are still on it. He casually tossed it aside, letting it clatter into the darkness and disappear into the swarm's colors. Albert grabbed his walking stick, his new arm dangling lifelessly at his side.
I have to go. I have to find Johnson, Raymond, and Herbert. That little rascal pushed Ilsa into the fountain. We have a score to settle. Take care, Clara.
Kiểu triệu chứng này làm lộ ra những gì tệ hại nhất của con người. Màu sắc thật sự của con người. She runs to stop the carriage, but is unaffected by her effort. Like everything, the sad footsteps approach from behind.
The storm syndrome is spreading, Doctor. Stay any longer, you'll be infected too. Please, leave with me.
The trembling ground interrupts her. A mob with distorted face swarms through the streets, chanting slogans and singing in their own tongue. White pro-war calmness litter the ground, like snowflakes being absorbed into the mine of effervescent pain. The city is bursting with unrelenting energy, like a speeding chariot or a twirling powder cake.
The sign bell in the parade. Is that Aurora?
Aurora?
I just met her at the coffee house last week. We were talking about her wedding.
Watch out, Doctor!
The sign crashes to the ground beside them. Richfield citizens are tearing the streets apart. Even the handles of the roadside benches are yanked off and made a weapon. The fervent protest consumes all who come across it, forcing them to participate with no options to decline.
This is bad. They have lost their minds. This way, Doctor. We have to get out of here.
Cái gì? Đấm vài đứa đã. Đấm mấy đứa sắc màu. Một màu đen. Ui, nhìn mặt sợ đấy. Cầm dìu các thứ. Chấm thêm màu vàng.
I will remember. And your hypothesis.
Charging. Vàng cánh đồng hoang.
Keep up the pace. No other study could show you this. Eliminate target.
Màu tím mắt em tôi. Ôi thật dịu dàng.
Cheer up. A good point. A new hypothesis. Noting. The benefits of field mapping.
Màu xanh lam.
Calculating distance. Faraday's theory.
Thời chi chiến đã xa rồi sắc màu toái.
Charging. A good point. A new hypothesis.
A new hypothesis.
The light that illuminates it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Taking another look.
Boom.
Behold.
Boom. Boom, boom. Ok, bật đi phát. sau. Một điên điên.
I admire your good academic question. Noted.
Chiều hoang vắng chiếc xe tăng
Limited
thật
scale,
vội
infinite
vàng.
lines.
Một đường cong cong
Calculating distance.
nối vào đường vòng. Hoàng hương nhớ khuôn mặt
our
bắc
dream,
hình
comrade.
rồng. Sao đây? Chuyện gì xảy ra vậy?
This way, Doctor.
This
We
way,
have to go
Doctor.
back to your clinic. The Special Operations Squad will meet us there.
Okay. The young investigator holds the doctor's hand, determined to do her duty. But the doctor has her steps and droops her head, looking dejected.
Marcus, you once said that there was another way to make things right. And then you did your part, as I did mine. But now, after all that's happened, please tell me, what's the point of us trying? Will we save them in time? Is there any chance that we can turn things around?
He struggles to hold back a sob. Quá muộn rồi, không thể quay lại nữa rồi. The roaring crowd fades into the distance, and the ring road of yesterday is now but a distant memory, never to be relieved.
The ritual you acquired, the one you said could save everyone. Is it working now?
Fail. Chúng ta cùng quay lại Laplace để xem mọi thứ.
Let me in.
Đây. Let me in. Let me in. The floor in Laplace corridor had lost its clean civilization. Dawkins and his slobbering mud certainly played a major role in the destruction. The guards used every cleaning herb in their inventory to restore even a hint of original glory. A pair of angry feet stormed across the floor, ignoring their colleagues' attempt to stop them. Enigma asked more muddy footprints without hesitation.
I have just one question. Why hasn't the project stopped yet?
His outcry elicits a reaction. The door to the director's office flings open, and an angry figure stomps out.
Adler Hoffman, you have been removed from the team. You're not authorized to be here. You have violated
the LSCC safety management regulations? I brought them with me. You're welcome.
He throws a hefty manual rise onto his former leader's feet.
If you cared about the regulations as much as you claim, you'd know that none of what's happening aligns with its guidelines. Even the head of Laplace has no authority to continue the experiment under these circumstances.
Before he can continue, his ex-leader sharply cuts him off.
Get out of my face, Adler. I don't have time for this. We're in a state of war. Every participant has signed an informed consent form. If you are not part of this project, please leave immediately.
Okay.
We only have 18 hours until the storm. This is it. The first time we've made such a breakthrough in all 9 storms. Your sister gave up her life to take us this far. I hope you don't need me to remind you that.
Adler Hoffman is abruptly silent. A fiery rage ignites in his hazel eyes. A deafening voice engulfs the space as Ulrich realizes his verbal blunder.
Yes, she made the ultimate sacrifice, hoping that it would lead to a breakthrough. But instead, death continues to rise. How can you let this go on?
He charges ahead, shoving Ulrich aside with his elbow. Ulrich's head slams against the wall, ferrofluids shifting erratically inside.
I demand to know why the experiment is still going!
He starts working on the padlock on the door. Nothing's going to stop him from breaking through today. The alarm goes off. Ulrich struggles to his feet against the wall, a hand up to his head.
Don't we have enough crazies around here? Madame Lucy has important things to do. She has no time for you. Go cry to your therapist, human.
Important? What could be possibly more important than this right now? What happened to the humanitarian ideals of the Foundation? Are we now under the tyranny of machines? What's this important thing she's got to do? Reading the paper? Sipping on oil and charging up in a 230-volt bath?
He cracked the code, pushing Ulrich's arm aside. Enigma forced his way into the room. The room is completely dark. The piston spins at his feet.
Is that you, Adler? Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome to my world. Xin chào, người đàn bà. Hỏi
Look
chấm.
at this mirror, dear.
7 years of bad luck.
There's a
7 năm.
sizable stain on it.
It's broken.
Yes, it is. Maybe its owner meant to break it so that the stain would be thoroughly removed. Now the stain is gone. And the owner has a collection of little mirrors. She must have accidentally left this one behind.
Đây là gương của ai?
A lady with great ambitions and an unconscious charm. A lady who wishes to make the rest of the world accept who she is, and has suggested that many others join her way of thinking. Her brother, on the contrary, hopes to be taken in. In his attempt to act like everyone else, he lost an arm in a duel. If you ask me, dear, I'd say they're very alike.
Equally
lonely. The brother and sister are a mirror image of each other. She's often repulsed by the sight of him, unable to reconcile herself with all that he reminds her of. Now the brother has found his missing arm, along with his long-lost dignity. The surgery that the sister had been hoping would be done on this world has finally started. But all of a sudden, she's terrified of the incisions. As I said, despite their differences in approach, the brother and sister are mirror images of one another. But now the mirror is broken.
Sắc màu con người, bản chất
I hope she can make it through the 7 years of bad luck. Poor thing.
Poor thing.
There's no way around it.
7 năm vận xui. Ok. Sandstorm in the room. Tại sao? Đây là chúng ta biết về Lucy. Tại sao lại bão cát trong phòng vậy? The piston rotates on the floor like a toy top.
I am not in a suitable form to receive a guest.
Đây Lucy á.
Simone,
phải?
Can you put me back in my body?
Lucy chỉ là một cái bộ phận này thôi á. Assistant.
I feel much better. Thank you.
Vãi.
Oh, you have even put on a face for me. How sweet of you. I have noticed your icy gaze, Researcher Adler. You are yearning to correct the logic of this place. Well, I only said that to Simone out of courtesy. In reality, whichever body I am put into makes no difference to me.
Her ill-timed explanation annoys him even more.
The experiment, ma'am. Why hasn't it stopped? Are you going to pretend that nothing's happened? That no one died? Could it be that you and Ulrich, the awakened, being the tin cans you are, have no regard for actual lives?
Adler Hoffman, I will not warn you again.
Ulrich storms back into the room with 2 guards, ready to throw him out at any moment.
Relax, Adler. You are led by a biased opinion because you lack critical information. A common defect in all cognitive processes. I believe you will shift to a more rational perspective once you receive sufficient information on the subject.
A more rational perspective?
The human, known for his logical thinking, responds with an overwhelming amount of feeling.
We are humans, not machines. We are not expendable parts. I have plenty of reasons to question your decisions. Your excessive insistence on this experiment could be a sign of uncontrollable behavior, a trait commonly seen in arcanists.
The experiment has been cancelled everywhere, except for this very room.
Nghĩa là Lucy tự tay thực hiện làm thí nghiệm đó luôn. The robot flashes a smile, anticipating the man to please with her response.
As you and researcher Medicine Pocket have said, the ritual is beyond the limits of almost everyone here. The side effects will kill them before the ritual can even take effect. The first wave was inevitable. Dora had pressed send before she disintegrated. We only managed to halt the subsequent transmissions and evacuate the unaffiliated staff. We kept only a few arcanists on the team, and each has signed the consent form.
Mutual consent. That's bloody form again.
Forgive me, ma'am, but I have to use your argument against you. You too are guided by a biased opinion, an overly optimistic one, because you have failed to properly assess the risks involved. We have suffered enough misfortunes just by uttering a few syllables of the incantation. We've talked about the limit of things before. You should know better and ask the rest of the team to quit the experiment. Your insistence will only bring calamity upon calamity on our people for nothing.
The researcher finds to stay calm, reiterating his views he had already shouted in the hallway. Ulrich begins his retort, but the director simply nods in agreement.
You might be right, but how is being right going to help us?
I may be crazy.
Huh?
She grins, trying to warm, gentle smiles, but it comes across as anything but. Enigma despises that face. Every time she tries to show a hint of humanity, it only serves to highlight how different she was from everyone else.
You spoke of the limit, and I am surprised that it is you who brought it up.
Giới hạn. Enigma paused for a second, not sure if she's being sarcastic.
The physical appearance of humans has remained relatively unchanged since the Neolithic era, but their thoughts and civilization continued to evolve and underwent significant transformations. The achievements that humanity enjoys today were not given to the species by any one person with godlike powers, but were the result of the collective efforts of all human beings. Limits and boundaries must be pushed, or there would never have been room for development. There is no reason to believe that the limit cannot be challenged, especially when we already have the tools to do so. We must make progress happen.
Grandiose lies.
Grandiose lies.
Lies?
Lies? Oh crap. He forgot about her excellent hearing.
We have no choice but to go beyond that limit. If we do not break away from the storm, there is no future for us, let alone progress. We need to first determine all the side effects as a priority. This important step will help us compile data and eliminate the effects so our colleagues can use the ritual safely.
And who will try it this time, Madam Lucy? You're not going to test the side effects as the cost of lives, are you?
No. Thanks to Ulrich, we stumbled upon a breakthrough. You are right. It is time to send the other Arcanists home. Only the awakened are needed here.
The awakened?
Awakened là ai? The tungsten's white glow faintly red in the dark. Then the room is lit.
The power is back, Mom. We are ready to resume.
Awakened ai?
It will take time to properly explain. Please wait, Adler. We have yet to reach an agreement.
What? Are you experimenting? Here?
Ignoring his surprise, Lucy sits down on the iron bench. The instrument comes to life with piston rhythm, faithfully recording every change in the robot. From the slightest movement to arcane fluctuation, nothing goes unnoticed.
La Unwa.
La Unwa.
Wait, she's reciting it?
Frozen in place by the scene, he looks around the room in
She's read
disbelief.
the reports, right? She was there when Dora broke into pieces.
The usual cheerful expression on her face had changed to one of unease, suggesting that something is amiss. A hunk of metal should not feel pain. They have no flesh, no nerves. What if she is in agony? What could be the cause of such torment? Will she break apart too, like those people? The ominous curse is set its sights on his prey. He watches, almost like just on a mountaintop, ready to unleash lightning on the mortals who dare to steal fire.
No, Simone, I cannot continue.
The most primal instinct in fear. This is the first time he's ever heard her emotion pour out so raw.
You fools! Don't just stand there! Stop her! Now!
Panic and horror twist in his stomach. He has an irresistible urge to rip out the wires and put an end to her torture.
Who's going to lead us if she also turns into a pile of scraps?
Stay where you are, Enigma.
A rich voice, full of animosity, comes from behind.
You insisted on being here. You demanded to see this. Don't bring your pathetic, narrow-minded humanitarian values in here and tell us what to do. What do you know about us?
Simone leans over to her. She speaks softly.
You can do it, madam. This is just part of the established procedures. Just a few more syllables, madam, and it will be over.
Established procedures.
Fear ebbs away a little as she repeats the word.
That.
Her eyes close. She forces out the last word with great determination.
Clo.
Clo. Xong, Lucy đã biến thành một đống bùn. It's done. A clear, accurate, impeccable read. Right at the moment, the light in the lab goes out.
Was that all, Simone?
Yes.
No one can see her face in the darkness, but Enigma believes it to be a smile.
Good.
Sao, có chuyện gì xảy ra với Lucy không? Gì vậy? A gust of sand rises in the room. Without warning and out of nowhere, it screams through the enclosure. The raging storm engulfs the robot's cold metal body, carrying her away with great force. When the sand subsides, all that remains is an old piston, clattering to the ground. Clang clang clang. Tất cả bản thể bị mất, chỉ còn lại mỗi bản thể duy nhất là cái piston cũ này. The Pioneers. Chuyện xảy ra với Lucy? Madame Lucy! A deadly silence. Until Enigma stumbles back, nearly falling over another person in the room.
She's dead.
Xong. The piston lies motionless on the ground, as lifeless as any other object.
This is what you wanted to show me?
His heart pounds in his ears as he pants. Fists clenched.
To watch her utter a curse that's always brought death, only to die in vain? And you just let it happen?
Ồ, cái máy Sputnik ở đây. Rich looks at him, his voice poised and steady.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. She's dead right there, you murderer.
We have already repeated this experiment many times.
Enigma is in disbelief.
Many times? What? You've sent people to their deaths over and over again?
The feral fluids flow again, forming a shape that Enigma can only interpret at distance.
Look at you, Adler, peeing your pants over a curse. The human boy is so scared that he forgot to ask the crucial question. Did the ritual work?
But what do you mean? The curse. The side effect killed her. The experiment failed. Is that not what happened?
No. Triggering the curse and failure are two separate things. I was the first one to recite the incantation, way before Dora. When I read it aloud, it worked. I felt the warmth of a miraculous blessing on my head. Soft, light as a feather. I told Madame Lucy right away. But as soon as she left the room, the curse hit me, and I began to liquefy.
Why?
There was no one else in the room. My liquid form had become too insubstantial to push the help button. A long darkness followed. After that, I woke up again in my original primitive form. The way I first came into this world.
Original primitive form?
Ban đầu, the feral flute possess, which in Irish body language is a knot.
Unlike humans, the awakened have neither flesh nor nerves. We are pieces of consciousness, echoes of a primordial melody that just happen to reside in material objects by chance. With a mind and a body combined, we could talk, learn, think like you do, and perform the experiment and endure the side effects. And this curse, for some reason, cannot affect the primal consciousness that caused our awakening in the first place.
Hoặc là con UFO.
While human minds dissipate when their tangible bodies are destroyed, our minds reawaken regardless of the changes and destruction of our external bodies. Of course, this was an assumption based on idealized circumstances, and I needed another awakened being who could awaken in different bodies to confirm my theory. That is why I sought out Madame Lucy for cross-verification. The results?
Yes, it was an assumption! You said it yourself! You came back to life this time! But what about the next? Nothing is for sure in Arcanum. What if she never wakes up again? What if she dies for good?
He swats Enigma's hand away.
We know what we are doing, human. Stay out of this. Only the awakened can carry out the experiment. So we must proceed. This has nothing to do with race. It is a sense of duty that every researcher should have possessed when they chose this path. We have to go beyond the limit. Not out of madness, but out of rationality.
Silence fills the room, like the beginning of time, when there was no sound to be heard, and slowly the piston starts to spin.
We seem to have replicated effect number 2. And 117 of the Coleman Lab's protective rituals were proven ineffective. Write it down, Simone. This is the 4th time we have seen it. Also, number 45 and 69 are related to it. We need to speed up. This is too slow.
The lights are back on again, and the piston is placed into the new body. Being prepared for all the possible outcomes requires a significant amount of metal materials, but it is essential for the data collection and analysis. Lát lát rồi nỗi mà xây được mấy trăm bộ robot cho Lucy luôn. With a soft hum, the robot turns her head and looks at Enigma, surprised.
Adler, what are you doing here? I am glad to see you out of your room and working with us again.
Ủa, không có ký ức gì về cô dạy trước à?
No, he's not on the team, Mum. He forced his way in here.
Oh? My apologies. I seem to lose a small amount of data when I reawaken.
She smiles at him, as she always does.
Still, I am glad that you are showing initiative, Adler. Were we supposed to talk?
No. We have nothing more to discuss, ma'am. Ulrich has filled me in on everything. But I still worry whether the experiment's risks were properly assessed.
Assessments will only be assessments. Much is beyond measure when it comes to Arcanum. Perhaps faith plays a more important role here.
Enigma is caught off guard with her words.
I'm surprised it is you talking about faith, ma'am.
It seems we both have the ability to surprise each other.
As they speak, the robot strolls over to her chair
You
and
are
sits
right.
down.
Assessments could indeed be useful to us. It allows us to know the probabilities of success and failure based on established facts and past experience. But when we find ourselves in uncharted darkness, with no information or past experience to guide us, how are assessments going to help us?
She ponders and stares into the void. Perhaps the experiment did fry some circuits. She's more sentiment than
The
ever.
only thing we have in such darkness is the unwavering faith to move forward. When the first steam engine whistled, I awoke into this world. At the beginning of this new life, my circuits were charged with a singular primal desire to progress. In the midst of that never-ending whistle, I have watched man build the towers of science and knowledge, and I have watched them unleash chaos and destruction. You too have been lost and deterred, but your engines of progress have never stopped churning. Always move forward, no matter the destination you told yourselves, until the storm brought everything to a standstill. But this is just a small setback. We are only back to the beginning where we stumble blindly. And this time, I happen to have a cane.
She gives him a tender smile.
No need to worry about me. I will not shut down as long as there is still hope for progress. We have wasted a bit of time on data recovery. Come, Simone. Let us begin the next experiment. I hope to dissolve into paste this time, so we can easily handle it with a Coleman's ritual of transformation.
The human researcher knows that it is inappropriate for him to stay here any longer. Gritting his teeth, he moves toward the door, trying his best to leave the horrific scenes. Someone is waiting for him by the door.
Seen enough? We know what we are doing, and you are of no help here. It's been the same old story in this place for the past 8 years. When your faith crumbled during the storm, it was us who took over the place and cleaned up after you. It was us who got things back up and running, put coals in the hearth, and blazed a trail when everyone was lost in the dark.
Trailblazer.
I know you may not understand the intricacies of the Arcanum, but please, show some basic respect for our efforts.
Will you do the experiments yourself, Ulrich?
Of course. I am not some emotional, unhelpful little punk.
Instead of his usual witty comeback, Enigma simply shakes his head in slow motion.
Do you still remember Adams?
Adams? A certain questions that seemed out of place. The ferroflute quivers. The name seems to unearth memories that have been buried for 8 long years in the confines of this institution.
Adams. Roman. Adolf.
Sylvia.
Albert. Louise. Those who were taken from us by the rain. Melvin. Francis. Caroline. Leopold. They volunteered for the field, but we never heard from them again. Now we have Dora, Richard, Dawkins, and Victor on the list. Life has a wicked sense of humor. My mentor, my classmates, my colleagues. Each of them deserved to live more than me. But they're all gone now. There's only me talking to you. Alive.
Useless.
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 Am I going to see your names on that list too, Ulrich?
In this rare moment, he lowers his head. But soon he raised his arms and slapped the man hard on the back.
Spare me the feelings, human. Though I will take back my sarcastic jabs at you, it is not something a leader should do. Madame Lucy talked to me about the importance of teamwork.
He awkwardly pats the human on the shoulder. Clumsy attempts at friendliness.
Go back to your room, Adler. The Arcanists will take over from here. Until we get the results, you won't be needed here.
Enigma heaves a breath.
I will say this, Ulrich. If you survive the experiments...
Alarmed by the opening words, Ulrich instinctively turned down his receiver to avoid hearing anything too warm. That would be more painful than suffering through 100 experimental side effects.
I will submit the sincerest application to never be on the same team as you again. So neither of us will have to worry about teamwork. How's that sound?
Okay. Haha. A curve that almost resembles a smile appears on his face.
I will wait for that application, Adler.
Xong, ông này chuẩn bị chết. Now, roll up your sleeves and clear your mind. This is not the time to grieve. If human reasoning and arcane knowledge are not enough on their own, perhaps a combination of two can solve this problem. The lab door is in shambles, its metal plates barely hanging on. A wooden sign reading "Keep Out" sways precariously, covered in bite marks and scratches. Enigma takes a moment before finally knocking on the door. A voice answers from within.
Adler Hoffman from the cryptography team. Is Medicine Pocket in? I heard that they wrote a paper on the linear correlation between the purity of an Arcanist bloodline and their power. Can I get some more details on the research?
The door creaks open to reveal a youthful face, but she is not the genius that he is looking for. Matilda! The lab technician looks at him through her glasses, hesitates a
The
little.
paper's here. Help yourself.
Một người lạ.
Sorry about the stains on it. I just took it out of the trash. If you're looking for Medicine Pocket, I'm afraid they just left.
Left? To where?
There is a subtle conflict on her face. She is torn between covering for her college and following the rules. It is more than enough for him to catch on.
They left the building? Hasn't the countdown already begun?
Yes, and by regulations we are not to leave. But, they said their new theory had to be verified in the storm.
Đấy. Mày cho thì ra ngoài cơn bão để dính các triệu chứng dở hơi vậy. Immediate death, no other symptoms. Soluble in soil. Okay. Chết ngay lập tức, không triệu chứng gì khác. Unstoppable and reversible. Sợ đấy. Thí nghiệm bao nhiêu chục lần rồi. Ok, đây là chắc là giam tiếp theo là Medicine Pocket à. Báo cáo gì đây? Lucy. Lucy. Ok. Có lẽ đây là thời điểm tốt để dừng thôi. Tập sau liên quan tới Medicine Pocket đang làm cái gì đó ngoài lề. Còn là team Lucy với cả ông này đang vẫn báo cáo. Giờ là 3 giờ 15 phút nữa là 3 giờ 15. Còn 18 tiếng nữa là cơn bão ập đến. Liệu chúng ta có thể làm gì được? Giải quyết được những cái gì? Kết thúc được sẽ như nào? chúng ta có tìm được manh mối gì mới không? Cảm ơn mọi người theo dõi. Giờ tôi nghỉ. Hôm sau tôi chơi tiếp. Bye bye cả nhà.